This is a quite old LED that I got a couple months ago in a big lot of Zenith bagged replacement parts at a Hamfest at the time. This is late May, I think. Quite interesting construction given the time when it was made, because a lot of early LEDs going into the early 1970s were manufactured like this, where they took a ceramic carrier that had some leads set into it, as was commonly used for transistors at the time, or at least some transistors, and then bonded an LED die to the carrier, much like when we do with a conventional transistor die, but then they goop or blob transparent, well, not necessarily transparent, but diffusing, so translucent epoxy onto the carrier. And these are quite dim, but they do the job. They're also very, very wide angle. One thing that's quite interesting about these is how late for this style of LEDs these were made. These were manufactured sometime in late 1970s, like 1978, 1979, going into 1980, just looking at some date codes from some of the other stuff in the lot. There's also a number of these. This whole stack of them is those. There's also some other LEDs like that one. It's basically a side emitting LED from the standpoint of the axis of the leads. As they exit the package, then the leads are bent over like this. It's intended basically mounting in a printed circuit board with the light shooting straight up. Nothing too unique about that. And then there's also this, which is a very standard T1 LED. And there's also some other stuff in the lot, mainly a lot of obscure, mostly radio and television type integrated circuits, although there's some, like that's a DTL monostable multivibrator. Somewhat unusual, as DTL is basically a dead technology nowadays, except for obscure things where it's implemented with discrete components. There's also this interesting little bugger. It's a diode, except in a 3-pin TO92 flanged package with one of the leads cut off. And there's also this, which, had I known what some of the chips were in this, I'd have gotten several more of them, because these 6-lead ones, which are ordinarily nowadays 6-lead DIL packages, are pretty much invariably used for opto-isolators and the like. But those guys are dual toggling flip-flops, which are quite useful little components, and like to be able to source a bunch more of them. Most of the other kits in this, or parts in this kit, are for various functions in televisions, basically chromance decoding and the like, but there are a couple of amplifiers. The thing is, finding datasheets on this stuff is not that easy. And there's a lot more where those came from, this whole bag. Quite a heavy bag.